Hi there, welcome back to Lee's Play. Today we're going to be building a community lot for Old Town in The Sims 1. I've actually had to build this multiple times because I decided to iterate on it and I was like, oh, we can do better. But what it's mainly based around is this basic version of an Apple store because I've created some new custom content and mods for the game that allows a lot more features in it. And it's kind of based around if you're playing The Sims 4, bringing those quality of life improvements to Sims 1. So now your Sims have cell phones, you can skill build on computers, you can do side hustle jobs, and so much more, and online shopping even. And so I needed a lot that we could kind of play with straight away, that we could explore those features together, because we're still going to be doing it in a rags to riches style let's play. So I built this Old Town area because what's great about having a cell phone is now that you can go to Old Town essentially for free. You don't have to earn some money to build it, to buy a home phone or anything like that. What you're actually trying to see me doing now is build a Chinese restaurant, which I thought was really interesting because this is me learning the quirks and the limitations of Sims 1. Because in Old Town you actually can't do dining restaurants. That's limited to the Hot Date expansion pack of Old Town. So this is very short-lived when I unfortunately learned that you cannot use the dining feature. You can only use more like vendor stalls in Sims 1. But I really liked the first version of this community lot, which is why I'm showing it to you, even though this is not the one we ultimately go for, because something that I unfortunately learned is that your Sims by default can't build body or charisma on community lots, and Max has had gatekeep that to just residential lots. So as you're about to see, this is me play testing it. I even put in a swimming pool. Your Sims do not build skills in the swimming pool, so that was just not going to work out. You can get a massage though, which I thought was really, really funny. And I play test everything, so you can kind of see some of the animations did not work on that swing set. And that swing set was kind of janky. I will include it in my CC folder because it just gives your families more things to do if you're building a house. But it's something that I'm probably not personally going to put on my community lots. However, I did really like how the community lot turned out, and as you can see, I put a lot of time into making it. So even though this is not the one we're going to be actually using for the Let's Play, you can still download this and use it if you want to. You can see at this point I haven't even implemented the iPhone because in the store all you can buy are magazine racks. I had to do some programming to get your cell phones working in The Sims 1. That basically allows you to click on your Sim, kind of like The Sims 2, and basically they'll have a mobile phone. And that's actually based off another mod by someone called China Fan Sims in the early 2000s, and I just kind of revamped it to add in some quality of life things. But yeah, this is me testing the first community lot. It looks really, really nice. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. And again, all the CC that I used in these lots will be able to be downloaded from that one folder I'll be providing. My previous video was a house build where I was like, oh, you can download the CC now. I know I haven't released it just yet. What I'm going to do is I will release the CC folder, but I will do it once I've play tested a bit more, because every time I was getting close to releasing it, I was like, oh, I need to remove that or modify this. And so that's why I kind of want to spend a bit more time with the folder before I publish it, because I don't want to keep making revisions. But speaking of revisions, as you can see, I've revised this quite a few times. This is the third version. By this point, again, I was really ambitious to make something I could build all skills in. Thankfully, on Reddit, someone had told me that there were some hacked objects from Odd Sims that allow you to build charisma and body. Or maybe it wasn't Odd Sims, it was another sim mod creator for Sims 1. And so I was like, right, let's do that. And then another thing, I was like, I wanted to put the Apple store somewhere else because I didn't want to build the same thing twice. And there was a lot of experimenting around, like, where should we put it? Because you kind of want it to be true to itself. If, it stands out, it's a glass box, it's going to look really pretty. But because you're playing in an isometric view, and I didn't want you to be turning the camera all the time, I wanted there to be one good view you could see everything from. And so that really kind of decided the layout, and this is the one we settled on. You can see me build the Apple store here. By this point I have implemented the iPhones. I did create that custom content. Your Sims now have MacBooks and iMacs in The Sims 4. Those are where you can buy the iPhones, and it's really, really cool because it makes the game a lot more contemporary. And the main reason for it wasn't just to add in some fancy new CC, but was to bring really major quality of life improvements. I had forgotten that there was farming and baking in Sims 1 until I was adding these features to the computer where you can do online shopping. And that just unlocks all these quality of life improvements because it just allows you to do so much more. Like, it was really, really interesting to make the CC because I had went back to Sims 4 and I was like, what is it about Sims 4 that's an easier play than Sims 1? Obviously, we're bringing mods over like gay marriage and all sorts of things into Sims 1. You can now age a child into an adult with a birthday cake, kind of like Sims 4. But just like in real life, your Sims spent a lot of time on computers, and I was like, oh, we need to add these quality of life improvements into Sims 1. And so my objects are really an amalgamation of different hacked objects. You can send emails now to socialize with other Sims. You can pay bills. Kids can do a lot more on a computer. So it was just adding a lot more interactivity, and again, just to make the game feel a bit more modern, especially if you're a newer Simmer or someone who's never played The Sims 1, or like me, you're coming back to The Sims 1 after a very long time. Just to fast forward things a little bit, I didn't show building the restaurant, because I had already kind of done that in the last one, and it's a restaurant, it's a pizza restaurant, and you'll see it later on when I have to properly redecorate it. But now what I'm trying to do is decide where the gym goes versus where the gay bar goes, because I wanted the gym to look really modern and almost be like this kind of rectangular box shape, which you can kind of see me there do. But I didn't want it from an isometric view to look too close to the Apple store because it looked weird. So again, I had to move things around. So I decided to put the gym there at the edge, and showers are quite tall objects. And when you're building for isometric views and you don't want the player to keep rotating the camera, you kind of want to put your big clunky objects at the back, which is kind of why I wanted that pizza restaurant to be back there, because the oven is really big and clunky and ugly, and that kind of determined where that shop was going to go. And even something like in the Apple store, where you're going to put the cash till and the person, you know, they're further back, so you can kind of play the game from one view and get an overview of everything. And likewise, that was the same for the gym. I knew the windows had to be from those two angles, just like the Apple store, because it's like, this is like the pretty view to play from. And then even like, what were we going to do for roofing? And roofing in Sims 1, you're so limited because it's only auto roof. It's not gabled, it's just like a flat roof with no gabling. And so ultimately I decided just to use the roof at the end. It looked good with the new wood paneling CC. I brought up, there's actually some user had made CC that they brought from The Sims 4 to The Sims 1, but these wall textures and floor textures, and they look really, really good in Sims 4. I was really, really surprised. Those are the new custom content gym equipment that your Sims can use on a community lot to build skills, along with those mirrors, which is why those blue mirrors are a very unique choice. But what's really great about the gym equipment is your Sims will have to pay to use it. So I really like that because it feels like a real gym in a sense. It's like pay per use. And you know, the Apple store, the computers are free. The Sims used to charge you money to use computers in Sims 1 if you use the default Max's ones, but just like in real life, how you can use a computer in the Apple store for free, I was like, let's just add that quality of life change. But you will have to pay to use gym equipment. So as you embark on this rags to riches challenge, because now you can go to Old Town for free with a cell phone that your Sims will get with every household in the Magic Box, I'll add a strategy, what skills you want to build, what type of career path do you want to go down, how do you want to make and monetize money in The Sims 1. So now you can kind of see me decorating the areas a bit more. You saw me decorating the cafe. You can finally get a peek into the restaurant down below. I really, really liked how it turned out. I wanted everything to kind of feel lived in, so you have a nice contrast of these modern buildings like the gym and the Apple store and how they're like new developments in this old town. So it's a nice combination of making it lived in. I'm just adding some lights and some decor. I was really surprised by the quality of life improvements. Again, like when you do online shopping, it's not going to be quite like The Sims 4 where they just go to your inventory immediately. It's based off a hack by another modder back in the day. And basically it's like Amazon next day delivery. The next day your Sim will get a package from a delivery person and they can collect like ingredients that you bought. This is where my game crashed. I thought I'd keep that in. The game actually crashed. And so what I'm trying to do now is figure out where this gay bar was going. Originally I was gonna just put the pizza restaurant there and put the gay bar back there. And that's why I had the children's play object, because I was going to make like a McDonald's type pizzeria type thing, like a Five Nights at Freddy's type thing. But that didn't really work out. This took a long time to build. My last video with the modern house I filmed in real time, whereas this is a speed build. I'll never do a real-time video again. That house build, there was no reason why that should have went on for an hour, which it did towards the end because it took so long to film. And overall, this probably took about 2 days. The first version, which you saw briefly at the beginning, took a day to make, and then so did the second version. And it doesn't seem like it's sped up because the camera stays relatively still because we're in isometric. But just there's a lot of time spent just like deliberating what we're going to build next, because it's really, once you make something, there's a permanency in Sims 1 where it's like you have to like just like deconstruct it, and it's just not like Sims 4 where it's easy to delete things. And so essentially this, I settled on a simple rectangle box for the bar. And again, just I want to look like, you know, it's historical, even though they built a new development behind it. And there's more modern things like this can't go anywhere. This is like a historical bar. And it's just really, really cute. And I think at this point I was watching a Netflix film while I was building it, because it just went on for ages. It took, compared to Sims 4, things take so much longer to build in Sims 1 if you want it to look good. And I'm pretty sure I was watching Scoop on Netflix by the time I was making this. I recorded this recently, so I remember. And yeah, I just loved what we kind of did with it. It's like a kind of a tiki bar. I wanted again, I was really taking my time to find the right windows, whether they're maxes or custom content, and just making it look good. So we went for this kind of beach style bar. I wanted to just look really lived in and somewhere you'd be happy to go with a family member, on a date, or with a friend. Again, just giving that functionality and do something that the other lots in Sims 1 Unleashed don't already have. I was already looking at the other lots that you can explore in Old Town, and I was like, well, what do they have what does this have that they won't? So again, using the custom content, using the features from other packs that weren't in Unleashed, and bringing them to this lot, because this is the vacant lot. This is vacant house 72, or 72 Elm Street. It's the one that's like, for a budding entrepreneur, you can build whatever you want. So this won't override any lots in your game. And as you can see, I finally built it, so I'm just giving you a quick tour of what it looks like. I think it turned out really, really well. Some of you may prefer the first version. Again, you can download both, but this one allows you to build all skills in it, and this is what I'll be using for my Let's Play. So this is just an overview. There's the Apple Store. Your Sims can skill build on computer for free, along with getting their phone up and even looking for jobs. You can buy an iPhone, of course, so your Sims have cell phones. This is the Pizzeria, where you can go by yourself and family, or go on a date and get pizza. The coffee shop, that's fully functional. It's like a 24-hour Starbucks, and your Sims will sit down to have their coffee. And then there's a queer bar. The Sims will love hanging out here. They love playing on the arcade. You can get some drinks, your Sims can get drunk. That little hut behind you actually allows you to buy a picnic. And here is a gym, and it's fully functional. You can build your charisma and your body, and your Sims will even have to pay to use gym equipment. So it's like an actual functioning gym. It's like a pay-per-use gym, and it adds a level of realism. Again, what's crazy about it is that you can build a multifunctional lot like this in Sims 1 and it works, whereas in Sims 4, which came out, 14 years later, you cannot. And so it was kind of crazy to play this and see it working. Like, usually if you see someone make a fake shopping mall or something in Sims 4, it's just functional. They classify it as generic and it's like a ghost town. Whereas when you come here, you'll see some people hang out in the bar, you'll see some people hang out in the Apple Store, some people hang out in the restaurant, but you'll see me next, I'm playtesting. And this is what it looks like at nighttime. And I was really, really happy with how this turned out, and I cannot wait to play it properly. This is all playtesting, but to actually bring my Sims self, which I'll record for a Let's Play, and to bring it into this, and this, just like Sims 4, in Sims 1 they just automatically go for the computer. You can see them playing Tomb Raider Remastered. If you squint really closely, you can see it on the iMac screen, which I custom put in. There's a jazz musician there. He is a menace because he will block doors and stairways. And in fact, you're going to see him block that stairs right there, which means we have to go back into build mode and fix it and add some adjustments. But yeah, your Sim can obviously buy cell phones now. This is great for your current save, because if you have a new family, they'll get one automatically with the mystery box. But if you have a Sim family you've been playing with for a while, you can buy one from a shop. You don't have to like start a new family, and that's why I wanted to build this lot as well. Your Sims will autonomously get coffee. I caught him up there having coffee and he just sat down and drank it. You can see that jazz guy, he's blocking the stairs, and as you can see, that poor woman, she can't get out because there's no exit from the Apple Store. You can only go up and down through the stairs, and that's when I realized I'd have to go back into build mode and fix it and add a second way to leave the property, because this isn't the first time I caught him doing that. Even in the first version of the community lot that I built, I saw him doing that, so I had to add some doors in. I was going to try use the elevator because Sims 4 doesn't have elevators and Sims 1 does, but I thought the elevator looked so out of place. It didn't quite work. So this is my second playtest during the day, and this is where I brought an entire family, and again, just to see the community lot so alive. And this is one of the more emptier neighborhoods. This is in neighborhood 1 or 2, so the Goth family isn't on this one. There's actually less Sims in the world, and yet the game did a pretty good job of populating itself with Sims anyway. And yeah, you can rent a picnic basket there, which is something I wanted to try. This is kind of just more family kind of gameplay. I also built a downtown community lot that has like a nightclub and a restaurant and a luxurious shopping boutique, which is kind of more for your younger Sims. But I know some of you prefer family gameplay, so I wanted to build something that was a bit more down to earth, which is why that's a bar and not a club. And why it's like, just a kind of like a cheap family restaurant for cheap eats. This is obviously great for starting out when you don't have much money, because you can come down here for free. You have to pay to go to Old Town, which is why I decided not to do things like add a shopping boutique into this lot, because I wanted there to be a purpose for downtown, which is like when your sim kind of starts to make money and you have disposable income, you can go there. But your Sims can use the picnic basket, and then obviously they can build skills, and they have multiple ways to go up and down the stairs, although sometimes they still might get confused. But this is coming towards the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Do subscribe to stay tuned for my Let's Play, and obviously check out my modern build video. The CC will drop soon for you to download. Bye.